we all want to be home. Landon wanted to be home. That's where he would want to be. That's where he'd want to finish his race. And so the fact that we were able to leave that hospital room and have the care in an in-home setting was good for all of our hearts. You know, I think for some that's just how they envision end of life is family surrounded in a hospital room, and it can be much different than that when the care can come to you. And I'll never forget Landon's last breaths, and you know that we all just circled around him and prayed and let him know that we were here, and it was peaceful, and he was at peace.
We knew that he was around family and friends, and they felt comfortable stopping up and stopping by when it was appropriate, and I think it just gave a sense of peace for him, and just knowing that he was here and around everybody else, because there's such a sense of family and warmth when you've got everybody around you, and I think he could feel it, and he was nonverbal towards the end, but he knew people were here and everybody was talking to him. He could hear all the voices that were here, so it was just a great way versus hearing beeps in the background as you get monitored and all that stuff. It's just a completely different experience being at home versus sitting in a hospital bed and nurses, coming in and out, doctors coming in and out. It's just more peaceful.
For me, the hospice of the Red River Valley, it was really team-based care, and I wasn't really aware that it was a full hospice team that cared for your family until we were going through our own journey. But to be able to have a nurse and a social worker and a nurse aide and a chaplain all at your fingertips, just a phone call away when you're enduring each day is challenging. And so to be able to have that expertise to guide you through what is the most painful and most vulnerable part of your life is pretty incredible. The fact that our families have this resource right in our community is a wonderful thing. They're there to really guide you to make the best decisions for your loved one during the dying process.
And I think from going on hospice, it's just a different type of care. It's not saying that you've given up. We were still living life with Landon. It wasn't like we'd given up and decided to go on hospice. It can be a long journey. It's just providing some help and allowing you. To me, the biggest part is being at home. And instead of being in a different location or at a hospital, it just gives an opportunity to spend time where you're most comfortable.
And I know something in regards to pediatric hospice that's kind of unique is that if at any point in time when Landon was on hospice, if there was some new and upcoming trial or treatment that we thought would possibly be effective for Landon, we could still seek that treatment out. It doesn't mean that because we were down the road of hospice and utilizing hospice that we were no longer able to try further treatment. The care that they really provided was top-notch, and even the times when they're nonverbal, they still communicate with your loved one about what they're going to be doing and how they're going to be caring for them, which it makes you feel good that because he can still hear what's going on. So the fact that they gave him that kind of treatment was comforting to us as his loved ones. At the end, we were by his side for every second that we could, and of course you're sleep deprived, and then it makes everything harder to cope and harder to care for Landon. So we did have hospice come in 2 different nights, and Travis and I were just able to rest our eyes for a little bit. It was what our bodies were telling us that it needed, but we knew that we had a medical professional by his side to make sure that he was comfortable, and if his breathing changed or if they felt that the end was near, they were going to come tell us right away. And that provided us a great deal of comfort, and it's amazing what just a little amount of sleep can do for you. A big thing too is comfort for our other two children, because for a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old, hospitals can be really scary, even for some adults. And the fact that they could just be kids here at home, and Griffin was playing toys right in front of Landon, and I knew he could hear Griffin's voice. So just to have that all going on around Landon, I knew that he felt at peace going, because he could hear everything around him, and he knew, you know what, you guys are gonna be okay.
When I think of hospice of Red River Valley, I think of caring, because they're really there to care for not only the person going through the hospice care, but also the family, and provide some support in any way that they can.